Okay, people. It's the same day. I'm uploading the video that I just made. Trying not to be upset here, but you see, here's the thing, people. If Tisha was home right now, and she's seen that I spent, not even that I spent the money, the fact that I came home with these jars and these lids, do you see? Right? When you're doing stuff like this, the last thing you want is to run out. Okay? It's that time of the year, people. Things are all going to start coming in fast. And if I'm clearing out my freezer with either fish or some meat so I can get into either freezing the soup and beet soup and things like that, or whatever I'm going to freeze, or if I want to make ice cream, you know, before I just chuck out meat or chuck out fish, I'm going to can it. I had to buy 2 more of these half pints because they work really well with amari. Right? Obviously, I've got amari on my mind. But Tisha doesn't see it like that. Because all she says is, well, what are we going to feed him, Mom? And if it's not fast and convenient, you know, I don't want to beat myself up, people, but you know it's my fault, right? You know. So I'm trying to, you know, I should be doing yard work, but I'm not. And then I got the 1 pint that are made specifically for fish, which I like for fish, Amari's meals. I like this style for SERPs, for those kind of things. So I bought 3 of those, only because I'm going to be probably canning meat or fish that's in my freezer. I bought 1 for the soup dough. Right. And Tisha will be like, she'll be like, you said you weren't going to buy any more jars. You need to use up the jars that you already have. This is a 21-year-old that doesn't like to fucking can or anything like that. Right? Just because it's just not there yet. So it's not like she knows what the fuck she's talking about. And then, of course, I have my jars. Right? These, I like this size too. I like these ones. And then these ones. These are pints. So I have 2 boxes here full of my jars that I'm going to end up putting on the porch. I just wanted you guys to see. So as I go through, because not only am I making apple juice, people, but I'm going to be making apple butter. This is what that's for. It's either that or throw out the apples. And I don't want to throw out that because that really makes nice apple butter, and you can make things with it. You can make apple cake, apple cookies. You can make the what is that called? Oatmeal with crumbs there, you know, like a apple crisp, right? You can make cinnamon dough, right? Instead of using cinnamon and butter, you can spread your apples in there and sprinkle cinnamon on top and roll them up that way with just a little bit of butter on the inside, right? So I'm not going to waste the apples after I'm done juicing them. I'll be making apple butter in about 3 days, 4 days from now. That's why I bought these. So anyway, for my 5 brand new cases of jars with accompanying lids and rims, and for 3 of these, it cost me $79. And you think I was out hooping it up, having a fucking party, drinking away the money, the way my kids talk to me and treat me sometimes. And then I wanted to show you this before I get on with what I'm doing. Let's see. Okay. It's all about food, right? So I spent 40 bucks at the grocery store because this stuff will be here, what I strained. It is split yellow pea, I think. And then it's got these little orange things. Some kind of lentil. Right? That's not what I wanted. So because that's not what I wanted, since I was getting jars anyway, I went off and I bought fresh. I wanted fresh. I've got these somewhere kicking around down there, but I don't want to dig. So anyway, this is split yellow peas. This one is green peas. Each bag was $5 each. Okay, so that was 10 bucks. And then, because I said I would do it, as I'm doing this stuff for Amari, you know, I want to bring in the more organic foods when I can. So while I was running around looking for those bags, I came across the bulk section, and here's organic peas. So, in terms of a bag, you can see the difference. Right, this is regular old peas, and there's organic. So, a little less than half. And that was $5.50. Obviously, it's more economical to buy it that way, but I'm going to use these first, and then probably some of those things that I already wet, but not all of them. And my water seems to be disappearing in here. So, anyway, that's how you start integrating organic. You just a little at a time, right? And then, oh my, what am I doing here? Hold on a minute. Because the dietitian said, you know, everybody was salivating for beet soup. Because I said I cook with the beets, right? Because it cleans the blood, builds the bones, right? All this good for whatever, right? And so, since I'm in here doing this stuff, I got organic beets, people. I'm telling you, I'm glad I grow them. I'm growing beets. One year I grew beets and Sierra took off with half of them. So anyway, this here is organic beets, literally, that I paid for $10.50. Is this something I do all the time? Hell no. I normally just buy good old regular beets, but because I bought those, whatever, I thought, why not? Because I wanted to show the price difference in terms of, if I would have just went off and bought regular beets, probably would have cost me $4. If, whatever. Because, you know, it depends on where you go and the time of the year. And then, anyway, so I just wanted to show you that, right? So if you can grow your own, right? Somehow find some ground somewhere, because it's a whole lot cheaper than paying almost $11 for 3 beets. And as I was going through the vegetable aisle looking for some parsley, because I didn't have parsley, I didn't grow any parsley this year, right? I came across Brussels sprouts. And I thought, wow, that would be nice to go right next to the piece of liver. Cut it in half into little pieces, obviously for Amari, or I could just cut it in half. I'm going to cook these things before I put them in the jar. So you get a piece of liver. Amari's I'll cut smaller, obviously, right? And then this will go in with the peas, the pea soup. So I wanted to show you that before I get on with putting these peas into the pot, adding a bit more water. And, you know, nobody likes to be codependent. And, like, unfortunately, when you live with other people, including your children, you become codependent to each other. So, after I found out that he put my hairdryer into the garage, and I don't know where those curtains are yet, you know, and he was like, you know, just acting like a brute, right? I think I just think it's a guy thing, right? And he's a big man. I mean, he's not a boy anymore. He's a man, right? He's like 6'1" or something, and, you know, 200 and some odd pounds. So, you know, he wants it arid now, you know, so he can just bumble on through. But unfortunately, I'm having to pay the price for that, because now I'm having to vacate a space that I've had for the last 10 years. All right. I'm going to show you this what is it called? Hairdryer. And the reason that I bought the hairdryer, let me finish with the codependent crap. After this little, you know, seriously, people, you see me do my videos, I'm not thinking about things that bug me, and, you know, I'm pretty level with my mood, you know, I wouldn't say I'm happy, but, you know, I'm there, right? You know, I'm not up there, I'm there, right? And then, you know, like I said, if I came home with those jars, with Tisha here, the first thing that would come out of her mouth is, you said you weren't going to buy any more jars. Why did you buy those jars? You don't need those jars. You got enough jars. You got lots of jars downstairs. What's the matter with you, Mom? And I'd be like, yeah, but they're not the right size. I needed lids. You know what I'm doing for Amari, right? I need to make space in my freezer, so, you know, I got to do something with taking stuff out, and I'm not going to cook it and refreeze it, right? So I have to can it or whatever, right? You know the garden's growing, right? Like, why do I even have to explain myself to a 21-year-old, people? Yes, I have first world problems with my kitchen too small, but at least I got a kitchen to bitch about, and it can pump out a lot of food. But it's like with anything in life, right? It takes time, takes effort, takes investment, right? It's, you know, things pile up, it becomes a little annoying. But after it's all said and done, you get a really strong sense of accomplishment. And, you know, when you live below the poverty line, as you're being extorted by corporations, right? And your family members are dropping off one at a time in terms of disappearing or dying, that kind of stuff. You know, they don't worry about stuff like that. You know, Tisha doesn't worry about it. Marcane doesn't worry about it. I mean, now he's seeing a little more with the fire pit, and, you know, he's valuing the tools that I have, and, you know, because he's using them more now. And but still, like, why should I be critiqued in my own home after I raised 5 fucking kids, did everything that I've done in a lifetime with them? Never missed a beat, people. I've never missed a beat. I have never gone on a fucking holiday. I've never been sick and away in a hospital setting, like gone for a week or 2 or 3 or nothing like that, you know. I haven't been promiscuous, you know. I don't get loud with drinking and drugs, and, you know, I'm pretty fucking faithful. But I'm codependent on them. right? Because I have the house. I'm aging. And I'm inheriting grandchildren along the way. So I'm codependent upon Tisha and Marcaine for things. Tisha helps me with Amari, that kind of stuff. Marcaine let me use his car. I didn't want to use his car today. I was mad at him. I told him, I said, he came up, he offered to take Amari because we had talked about it before I was at that level, and then crashed with him saying, oh, you know, I'm just protecting my space. You know, she can go out in the garage. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you're expecting too much from me. If that's really what you want is a big open wide space, go fucking move. Well, is that what you really want, Mom? Well, no, obviously not. But it doesn't give you the right to go in there and cherry pick what my belongings are and use what you want to use and throw out the rest that you don't want. Like, in the real world, that's not how it works. Especially when you know, people are going to be trying to steal the shit. I have lost so many things in that basement, people, you can't even imagine. So anyway, I'm whining. That's what's happening here. I'm whining. So that's one of the downsides of being codependent. You know, and that's where Tisha and I right now are at in the game of looking after Amari. In one part of our brain, we're okay with it because we love him. And, you know, it's the right thing to do, and he depends on us, and right? But then on the other hand, there's another part of the brain where we're petrified because we realize that as he ages and gets bigger, you know, how are we going to move him as an individual? I said to Tisha, like in 5 years or whatever it is from now, like, do you honestly expect me to move Amari around by myself until you show up to help me? Marcaine is only capable of helping me so much. You know, he's working, whatever, right? He's not always around. So, you know, like, and then just because of the type of cerebral palsy that he has, we're probably looking at hoists, people, to hoist him up out of fucking bed. Unless, of course, you've got a 6'1" man like Marcaine standing there helping you to do it. I'm like 5'1". Last time I checked, I actually got my weight back, 105 pounds. At one point, I went down to freaking 90 after they took Andre. And then when Uncle John disappeared, I went back down to 92, just as I was getting up to 98. And since I've been doing all this cooking, just being around food and kids, in my mother brain, I've been kind of plumping up, right? So I guess that's where that little extra weight came from, because, you know, all these kids, man. Like kids, little kids, right? Babies. But, you know, it's been over a year, and really it's just been basically Tisha and I taking on the responsibility of looking after Amari, with the idea of that it's just going to get harder and not easier. Right? And so, right there, it brings you into a codependency relationship where, you know, Tisha has her own life to live and her own relationships to build and her own children to raise. And, you know, she doesn't want to live at home with her mother for the rest of her life. But if I'm going to be keeping Amari for any length of time, I told her it's going to come to that, Tisha. Eventually, I'm going to have to move out of this house because, one, it's been too small. And before I start emptying everything out onto the road, you know, I'll move. But that's assuming that I can even look after Amari when I get to the next destination. So you have to be prepared to move with me. Right? So we're looking at getting a big monster house where she has her suite, I have my suite, he has his suite, so that we're not encroaching on each other when, you know, back in the 60s, kids grew up and left home. They didn't boss their parents around. Why are you buying more jars? You don't need those jars, Mom. You said you weren't going to buy any more. You're lying to me, Mom. No, I can't trust you, Mom. You know, like this is a totally different jar than this jar. This is a good size for amari, depending on what I put in it. And this is the kind of jar you use for fish. I like these jars for syrup, if I make syrup. These ones are good for pickles, apple butter. That's why I brought these up, because I'm going to be making apple butter. As I get criticized for having shit around. And then just as one calms down, another one starts up. Right? Because we're codependent on each other and we're not necessarily happy with it. So you're always having to make adjustments, right? So that's what I'm trying to do here, people. I'm just trying to make adjustments. Right? So anyway, $10.50 for 3 beets. So I'm making beet soup tomorrow. And I'm going to freeze it. Or maybe I'll can the beet soup. Might can the beet soup. And I'll freeze the one with the liver. So I'm going to be back. Hold on. Get out of my house. Get out of mine. Shoot. She's bringing her babies in. They're going for the cat food, man. They're like, ridiculous. Sky had her kittens. And the mother knows there's kittens in the house. And raccoons like to eat meat. This is too funny. I hear a cat. There's that ewe growling. She's got her babies with her. I know your babies are behind the curtain over there. You just want that cat food. What you think, you gonna dash by me? Huh? Is that it? Do you hear her? She's... Brr, 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 brr. 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 Please feed me. Brr. It's not my fault I was born a raccoon. Brr. If I stand back here, they'll think I went away. It's funny, I want to catch the babies. She's trying to bring the babies in. I'll feed them and that will make them go away. Doesn't matter where I put cat food. They will do anything to get into it. See? There's baby. I heard her calling them. She's chattering. Can you hear her? Raccoons actually talk to their young. Battle of the wills. I know what you want. You just want cat food. Right? This shows you how dependent these creatures really are, people. This is why it's so important that we bring in a PrEP program in the province of British Columbia. Raccoons are protected by federal law. But they don't provide no services for them. And as their habitats are being... So anyway, she has 2 of them. Normally they have 3. If you notice, I gave her some water too, because they like to eat and wash their hands as they eat. They're starving. And I forgot to buy, what is it called? Dog food. So I'll have to give Uncle Marcaine some money to go buy some dog food for me. But it's hard for me to store it though, because they're like little Houdini, what do you call it? Shysters. Because they can climb on things, right? And they're strong and they can pull things down. So it's not like I can leave it in a bin out on my porch, because I'll come out the next day and it'll be tipped over and all the raccoons, they're hungry, right? Obviously, that one has to wait its turn. So next time I should get another bowl, bigger bowl. So I'm gonna grab a couple of bowls and give them their own bowls. Kind of like cats, right? Anyway, and they're all eating. They're all eating from there. The other one's behind the bush there. Anyway, still at it. So what I like to use is a weight, right, to squeeze out this juice outside of hanging it and let it drip for a night, which I don't have time for. I take, you know, when you buy those lamps, stand-up lamps and stuff like that, oftentimes they'll use this as a weight, right? So you just take it out of the base. And then I take this one, and then do you see that one? That one's marble. Hold on. I just stack them. Right? Leave it like that for a while anyway. And then later put your apple, after it's been squeezed out into the bowl, put it in the fridge, and then later on you make apple butter. Okay. So now the soup, since I've been home, you can see that those organic peas have been doing nicely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it cook for about another hour so they really break up really nice and fine. And then I'm going to take some of that other stuff and I'm going to throw it in there and cook it. It's going on 10 o'clock now, so I don't know what time I'm going to be going to bed here. Obviously I'm not going to be canning tonight, but that's okay, because everything will be ready for tomorrow, minus having to wash and get everything ready. But all the cooking part will be done. I took one of these because I really like this stuff, right? Anyway, I put it in there just so you know. Okay, this light's back on. Anyway, I've got some of this soup here for Amari. Those peas cooked up really fast, and they're coming out nice, people. That's really nice. And then I took a little bit of liver, right? And mashed it all up. But before I put it in there, because they want me to give them more fats, and again, they recommended this oil, this avocado oil. I don't know what it tastes like. I'm going to taste it now. And if it tastes okay, I'm going to add it in with that liver, and then I'm going to mix it in with the soup. Well, it's pretty good. Doesn't really have much of a taste. So, I just poured some in there, and I'm just mixing it up. Right. Now, Amari's been using his toilet. This morning, he was hollering at me to put him on it, and I swear, he's hungry now. He wants to go to bed. He's tired, right? What do you call it? I put him on it, and within not even 3-4 minutes, that was it. He had a poop. So, toilet training him is working too, right? At least with bowel movement. Because he, like I said, he was hollering at me. Now, here, let me pick up this camera. Do you see that, people? Hold on. Do you see that? That's pretty rich. But it's not a bad richness. Right? There we go. Let me taste it. See? She didn't tell me the liver. That's my idea. Oh, it tastes so good. I'm gonna go feed him now. Oh, man. Oh, it's so good, people.
Because we were recording.
What am I doing?
No, you tell the story.
No, you tell me the story. I'm feeding Amari what? Liver with peas.
No, I was feeding Amari with liver pea soup.
Mm-hmm.
Pea soup.
It's really good. Look at him.
Yeah. It is. I like it too.
Yeah, well, you're gonna get yours next.
Yep.
See? So it's another successful recipe. You like it, don't you? Hey? I know. This is good. It is really good, people. Actually, the avocado just makes it really nice. A little bit of... I put a little bit of avocado, what is it called? Oil in it, and it just, I don't know.
Tastes good?
Yeah, it does. Everything really tastes good. Right? So, of course, when I'm freezing, though, I'm going to be putting in a couple of the beans that I have and a couple pieces of, what is it called? Brussels sprout. Right? I mean, look at him. He just loves this. Is it good? Oh, he's eating dainty. He bites the spoon and he knows I don't like it.
But he doesn't stop.
But he's not biting the spoon right now. Let go. He's been eating it really nice. Look at that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's almost done.
Almost. Don't bite the spoon.
Do you want me to turn it off now?
Yeah, we just wanted to show that he liked it.
The white, too?
If you turn it off, it will be fine.
You mean this one? Is that the button?
You can try it.
I did.
Are you still recording? Okay. That was really good. Like, I'm like almost tempted not to put those other things in there. That's how tasty it is. But so now what I'm doing, people. I'm making up entrees. That's the true taste tester. Amari likes everything I make him. Andre tends to be a little more picky, but I bet you he'll like this. This is the secret. Right here. Breaking it up into fine little pieces so it blends in with the main dish. Right. See, I need to put more peas in there. It doesn't matter, it's not thick enough. But for now, just until I'm done it's fine. Really, for something like this, I should be freezing them in a 1-pint jar because Andre does like it. Pea soup, that is. I mean, must be some pretty wicked pea soup. Right? So I'm going to do exactly what I did for Amari and give Andre the same thing, being that he's a growing boy. So I don't know, just a few dabs here and there. You've seen that. And then if you had a little garnish, you could put garnish. Like you could have a little bit of chives or whatever little greenery you like. You could even scramble an egg and have a little bit of scrambled egg on top of that. That would be really nice. So now we're going to give it to Andre and let's see if he eats it. Hold on. Okay, so as you can see here, right, this is pretty much done. So I have it on minimum, and I'm just going to leave it like this for the night, right? Here's the apple juice. I'm just going to leave this for the night because my fridge is full. And then tomorrow we're going to get up and we're going to can the apple juice, the blackberry juice, the soup will be in for freezer. I'll pull out the frish. And here is, what do you call it? The blackberry seeds from when I juiced it, right? So, grind these up because they're nice and fresh. I'm going to put in like a 1/4 teaspoon every now and then into Amari cereals and stuff because the seeds themselves have a lot of nutrients, right? Okay, so now it's like going on 12:30 in the morning, so that puts it at July 28th, 2019. I just showed you, I'm finishing this video now. I'm going to convert it. This computer here works pretty fast, right? And then I'm going to put it on a little flashlight and upload it. I'm on like 2 gigabytes on this thing left. This computer's ready to crash, people. I'm going to have to use ShaMay's computer until my son reformats this one because I'm codependent on my son to do certain things for me. Right? Just like he's codependent on me to provide him certain things like my tools. Right? Those things he doesn't want to throw out. But my hair dryer, which I'll show you tomorrow. Right? There's a story behind that, but I'll tell you tomorrow about the hair dryer. I've actually got more than one. I bought it for YouTube. For us girls, right? To have a little hair salon party through our Google Hangouts. In other words, it was a prop, right? One of those very, very old school kind that with the bowl that goes over your head. So mother's having a fit over that. Where's my hair dryer that I never use? It wasn't yours to throw away. So, I'm going to convert this over. I don't know. I'm babbling on about something there. You've seen the end result. And then tomorrow what's going to happen is get up, figure out what jars I'm going to use, make some space in the freezer by taking out that fish, wash my jars, find that canner with the nuts, because I need that canner anyway to boil jars. And then I'm just going to go straight up into canning what's all there or freezing it. And then I'll probably go into making beet soup because I want that selection, right? Tisha says, what should I feed him? Well, you can have pea soup, you can have beet soup, you can have this, you can have that, among these other things. And because I'm staying pretty close to the format with easy digestible foods, but I'm increasing the fats, or I don't consider liver to be a food of, like, it's liver, ground turkey, you know, that stuff that's not fat, people, right? So I can't call liver fat like I can call butter fat, right? So we're adding, is that protein? I don't know. When my son starts talking to me about this stuff, I don't know what you're talking about. So anyway, tomorrow the liver will go in. You'll see with this video, Amari gobbled it up. He really liked it because it was really good. Andre ate his. He really liked it. Came back for some more. But because I didn't fry enough liver, because I didn't know what I was doing, I was just experimenting today, people. I only bought 1 pack. But next time I do this, now that I know that Andre will eat it, he asked me, he goes, what kind of meat is this, Nana? And I'm like, good meat, just eat it. I was afraid if I said liver, he would be like, ugh. Because again, chicken liver, it is milder, right? And just the way I fried it with that butter, as it blended itself into the pea soup, oh, it was so good. So for an adult, you don't have to mash it. You can keep them in bite sizes, or, you know, a little smaller than that, so it incorporates into the soup like it was for the kids. And then I bought some Brussels sprouts, so I'm going to have that in there with that. And then I picked some beans from the garden, all right? So I'm going to make up a bunch of jars and freeze them. And I'll probably make a few like this, which if I do it this way, that pot won't last very long. Which means I should probably make plans to make some more soon, right? Because Andre likes it. Well, I knew he liked pea soup. My thing is, people, I don't have the energy to be cooking 5 days a week, eating 2 days of leftovers, doing all the dishes, right? Cooking, cleaning, shopping. That's a lot. So this just makes it easier. That's why I'm doing it this way, so that in about a week from now, I can really, you know, hopefully focus on the yard. Tisha hasn't been around that much, so I haven't been able to get out into the yard, right? Whether she's going to be around or not, I don't know. All I know is this is convenient, and it's nutritional, and it's being designed to build muscle. So tomorrow is canning.